How many of you love change? Oh, come on, Carl left the room, didn't he? You have to put those hands up. Yeah, what we found about people that love change, the following is usually true. I understand the change. I believe it's needed. I'm bought in. It's the right thing to do. I'm engaged. I know how to make the link between what I do and where we need to go, and I can get my people engaged. That's how most people like that type of change. How many like this type of change? You better get out there and make it happen. You better roll that new system out. You better get them to change. How many like that type of change? Yeah. You like that type of change. But think about often what the job is of a leader or a manager or a supervisor. What's your name, sir?
Ben.
Ben? Okay. You sure?
I think so. I'm still working on the F's.
He's still got. So Ben, no right or wrong answer here. What's the difference between activity and results? Okay, Ben. What was this? I like it. Shout it out, Rich.
Activity doesn't matter if you don't get the results.
Activity doesn't matter if you don't get the results. I like that. Any other comments here? Yeah, we would say this, that activities or actions people take that lead to results. So let me ask you this. Does all activity produce a result, Walter? Yes, it does. Walter got it right. Most people say no. This guy's a genius. Because even if I do nothing, do I get a result?
Yes.
You're damn right you do. It's not the result you want, though, right?
No.
We tend to think of only the positive outcomes of taking actions. The reality is the results are the desired and undesired outcomes of taking actions. So the only reason I put that up there is we want people focused on the result, not activity. Activity in and of itself will not necessarily produce your desired result. So Jacob, why did you push back on me when I just pushed on you? You wanted to. It's human nature, gang. I'll tell you what, when you push something on somebody, it is human nature. They will push back if they don't understand, believe, buy in, and if they're not engaged, they will push back. And that's what you see. How many times have you had to roll a new process or system out and you get this pushback? It's human nature. How many of you like to be told you have to change? How many of you are married? It doesn't work so well. I can tell. So with that in mind, what I'd like to do is I want to provide you and put your minds on change. I want you to experience a personal change right now. Call me Fred to make your life easy. Okay. So Fred, can we expect people to voluntarily choose to take accountability to deliver a result that they didn't know existed? How does it feel, Fred, to be held accountable to deliver a result that you didn't know existed? Give me a word or two. Awful. You cannot expect people to voluntarily choose to take accountability to deliver a result that they're not even sure existed, or it's cloudy or vague, or it's not crystal clear. But yet that happens 90% of the time, our data. So it's not necessarily that people don't want to do exceptional work or be accountable. It's that oftentimes we get in their way. We're just not clear enough. That's what exemplary leaders will do for their people. They will paint such a crystal clear picture of the future, of where we can be, that people will dive in and suck it up and say, I want in. How can I help? You create a want-to environment rather than a have-to, a pull versus a push, a get-to rather than you're forced to, a commitment versus compliance. Effective leaders paint such a crystal clear picture of the future, your people will suck it up and they'll want to be involved. It's the experiences you create for those you serve internally and externally that really differentiate you from the competition. It's the experiences we create as an organization for our clients that will begin to differentiate you and really increase levels of customer loyalty. Experiences are as distinct from services as services are from goods. Good service is the price of entry nowadays. Everybody expects good service. Experiences really impact client loyalty. On the count of three, I want us all to clap so it's one gigantic, simultaneous, thunderous clap on the count of three. Are you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Now, you knew what I was doing, and I still got 75% of you. Here's the point. Were you following what I said or what I did? People are going to watch what you do. Words are cheap. One more thing. Do this really quickly. Right index finger out. As fast as you can. Point to your chin. Do you feel the confusion in the room? Multiply that by 1,000, and that's often the confusion we create within our organizations.
Physician, and he's sitting in on the examination table. My wife and I are both in there. The doctor walks in, and he looks up at me and says, "Dad, ladies can't be doctors." I said, "He didn't get that from me." I said, "Nick, women can do anything they want to do." And his response was, "Oh, okay." That belief shifted instantaneously on better information. The only reason I tell those two stories is every one of us in this room, you have beliefs about you that reside on both ends of that continuum. And some of them you don't want people to have about you as a leader because they're holding you back. Think about what Amazon.com did to all the small mom and pop bookstores years ago. They reinvented the way the business was done. They wiped them out. Are there competitors out there that would like to have your market share? Of course there are. Complacency is awfully dangerous. You know, if you look at the Fortune 500 list from 25 years ago, 75% of the companies that were on it then are no longer on it. The white waters of change will not calm anytime soon. Organizations that embrace change, that adapt, that innovate, are organizations that will continue to thrive and succeed in the future. Communicating your direction, your vision, your opportunity. You just saw what's up there. Say we put out a memo, and that was the memo where we're going, and look at the misinterpretations you had here in this room. You had 25% of the room seeing 3, 25 seeing 4, 25 seeing 5, 25 seeing 6, yet you wrote it, you know what it means. Why isn't everybody aligned?
And the reason the question is asked, because they do interpret false urgency as true urgency. And they see where false urgency is not necessarily getting them to where they want to be, and it's burning people out. And that's why the question arose, can we have too much urgency? When it's true urgency, you can never have too much.
Call Aunt Jen and thank her for the card. I thought I heard you say, "I guess I don't have to thank you." I said, "You realize the golf shoes and the rollerblades, that's from Mom and Dad." The card said, "From Mom and Dad." And he looked up at me and he said, "Well, you didn't sign the card." And I said, "What?" And he said, just like this, "You didn't sign the card." And at that moment, I wanted to say, "You ungrateful little son of a... Do you realize how busy I am? You know how hard I work. You know blah, 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 blah." Instead, I bit my tongue. I wanted to practice what I preach. Went back upstairs, finished packing, come back down. He's still there. I said, "Hey, Nick, what did you mean when you said I didn't sign the card?" And he said, "Well, Dad, evidently, I'm not important enough for you to take 10 seconds from your day to sign this yourself." And it hit me like a ton of bricks. And he wasn't saying it to be a smartass, excuse my language. He's a thoughtful, considerate kid. He gets that from his mother.